Hey everyone, Waterfall Joe here. In today's video we're going to be discussing the OM System 12-40 f2.8 Pro. Now this is one of my favorite lenses in my bag. I've shot so many photos with it. I absolutely love this thing. Today's video we're going to be discussing the features, the specs, what other options are there in this ballpark, what's the competition. I'm going to show you some of my favorite pictures I've shot with this lens. I'm going to talk about who is this lens for, who is this lens not for, and then at the very end we're going to go out to a local park and just take some photos with it, see how it does, and overall I'm just going to give you my thoughts and opinions on it. So let's dive in. Okay, so let's talk 12-40. So the original 12-40 was manufactured by Olympus, and it started all the way back in 2013, and it was announced alongside the EM1 in 2014. So, that's about a 11-year-old lens at this point. And technically speaking, the OM System 12-40 is based on that same principle, that same optics and everything. There is one difference, however. The OM System 12-40 is IP53 rated, where the Olympus 12-40 was IPX1 rated, which means this does have a little bit better splash and dust proof versus the first generation. Other than that though, glass is the same, build is the same. It's still that very nice metal build. When you feel it and when you hold it, you know you're holding something extremely well made. Now in terms of general specs and everything, this lens comes in at about 385 grams. It's about 3.5 inches tall, and it utilizes 62mm filters. Now you can get the lens hood, which comes with it, just a nice tulip style lens hood. There's a button you have to press to release it, and then you can flip it around. Very, very nice lens. It is just such a solid lens. When you pick this up, you're like, wow, that is such a good build quality. Just like a lot of the other OM System lenses, it does have the manual focus clutch, so you push this down and you can spin it. Okay, so let's talk about why I love this lens. So first of all, I bought this lens last October, and it's actually the kit lens for my OM1. So when you buy an OM1 Mark II or the original OM1, you actually get if you choose to buy the kit, it is the 12-40 f2.8. This is actually a kit lens, and I hate calling it a kit lens because usually when you hear the word kit lens, you're like, oh, it must be cheap, it must be not very good, like 18-55, Nikon, Canon, No. When I say this is a kit lens, I think a better term would be this is a bundled lens. When you hear the word bundled lens, you assume that must be a really nice lens and you're getting it as a kit. So I just want to make it clear that the 12-40 is a very high quality lens, and when you hear the word kit lens, I don't want you to think that this is a cheaper, not so good lens. This is one of OM System's best lenses, and when you buy their best camera, you can get them together as a kit. So here I have it mounted on my OM1 Mark II, and this body and this body lens combo, this is probably one of the best feeling setups I've had in photography. I just think that this overall is very ergonomically pleasing. Now this lens, unlike an OM3 or a Pen F or an OM5, the lens is a little bit larger on those smaller bodies. That being said, on an OM1 Mark II or an OM1 or an EM1, it feels extremely well balanced, especially with that larger grip there. So here I have it mounted to my Pen F just to show you guys. This is still extremely comfortable, no issues whatsoever, but I think over time, now I haven't actually shot this combo before, but I do believe over time without that front grip, you might find this to be a little front heavy versus like a camera with the larger front grip. Anytime I want to go out shooting and I know I want to keep it kind of lightweight, I'm going to take my OM1 with the 12-40. Anytime I go to any car shows, if I'm going out hiking to a waterfall and I just really want to keep it lightweight, I'm going to take this combination. I'm going to grab me a nice circular polarizer. This one's the HGX Prime by ProMaster. Boom, I am ready for my hiking adventures. No tripod, no more filters because I'm going to use my Live ND and my OM1. This lens is absolutely razor sharp. If I'm doing any low light, I got the 2.8 aperture all the way through the zoom range, which is perfect for any sort of low light. I think that the 12-40 is, in my opinion, one of the most versatile lenses out there, right up there with the 12-100 f4. So I think they did an excellent job with this lens. I never have any concerns whatsoever about weather. I'll put a picture here on the screen. A few months ago I did some waterfalls with it and it was just covered in rain. Never gave me any issues whatsoever. Alright, so while we're talking about the 12-40, let's discuss some other lenses in this space. Just what's the competition out there? So from OM System you have two other lenses that are in this space. First of all, you have the 12-45 f4. Now this is the smaller lens, a little bit smaller than this one. Of course you lose one stop of light, but it is a much smaller lens, more fit for a lightweight traveler who doesn't value the low light as much. The 12-45 is actually the kit lens you get if you buy an OM5, an OM5 Mark II, an OM3. So the 12-45 is an excellent addition to anyone's bag who doesn't need that extra stop of low light performance, but it does not compromise in image quality. I'd say that lens is just about as sharp as this one. It is a pro level lens, so it's a nice build quality. The only difference is you do lose one stop of light, but you actually gain 5 millimeters on the long end. So if you're just looking for a lens that's a little bit better for traveling without low light shooting, the 12 to 45 is an excellent option as well. And it comes in at a few $100s less than the 12 to 40. Now the big boy we got to talk about in OM system lineup is the 12 to 100 f4 Pro. Now, to put it nicely, I know that this video is about the 12 to 40, but the 12 to 100 f4 Pro is one of the nicest lenses you can get. And it is, in my opinion, probably the best travel lens from any manufacturer. Yes, I said any manufacturer at any price point. I think the 12 to 100 f4 paired up with any OM system camera is one of the best travel lenses you can possibly get. The reason I say that, the 12 to 100 f4 does have image stabilization where this one does not, and the 12 to 45 does not. So if you pair that up with, say, like an OM1 Mark II, you can get up to 8.5 stops of in-body image stabilization for your photography. So if you're trying to do any sort of handheld long exposures, you can do it without a stabilized lens, but that 12 to 100, you're going to be able to get some crazy long exposures handheld. The other benefit of it is, just like this one, it's fully weather sealed. It is a little bit larger and it's a little bit more expensive as well. So I personally like the 12 to 40 a little bit more because it fits in my bag a lot better. And I personally don't mind switching back and forth between lenses. That part doesn't bother me at all. I like the size of this one a lot better. And I have a 40 to 150. So if I'm in the mood for telephoto, I'll just switch over to that one. Now in the Panasonic world, there is the Panasonic 12 to 60 f2.8 to 4 Leica. Now this is an absolutely incredible lens, very similar to this one in terms of the build quality, the specs. It's a fully weather seal lens, excellent build quality. It is certified by Leica, so it is essentially a pro level lens. It has that excellent build quality, the great glass in it. Now it does give you an extra 20 millimeters over this at the loss of being an f4 versus a 2.8. Now if you're someone who's traveling and you have a Panasonic camera, then the 12 to 60 makes a little bit more sense because it does give you a little bit extra reach. Now, if you do value your low light the most, then this lens does make a little bit more sense. Now, for my OM System Olympus users, that is an excellent choice. My only thing to note is some Panasonic lenses will give you purple fringing, very little, but there is apparently some. I haven't ran into it personally, but there's reports of some Panasonic lenses giving you a little bit of issues with purple fringing when using it on an Olympus/OM body. Okay, so I actually bought my OM1 and the 12 to 40 all the way back in last October, so coming up on a year already. It's been such a delightful year with this setup, and I've had so many opportunities to shoot it in a lot of different situations. From, of course, the waterfalls, I love me some good waterfalls, to some gorgeous landscapes. I'm also a huge car guy, so I took it to some car shows and did some cars with it. So I'm just going to put some photos here on the screen for you guys just for a minute or so, just to kind of show you the range that this thing can do. It really can handle anything you throw at it, and here's some photos just to kind of show what I've done with it. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that little clip of some of my favorite photos with this lens. It really is a great, versatile, do anything you want with that lens. It's so powerful, it's so sharp, so I love taking it with me pretty much everywhere I go. So who is this lens best suited for? Who's this lens aimed at? Who should get these? So once again, if you're looking for a good all-around lens to kind of do everything for you without weighing down your camera bag, I highly recommend this lens. If you value having a nice zoom with a good aperture, this is an excellent choice if you're doing any concerts, any low-light wedding photography. Absolutely a great pick for that. With that f2.8 aperture, it's an excellent choice for any sort of low light. If you're looking to do any sort of day traveling, any hiking, any sort of photography where you just want to keep maybe one lens and that's it, I think the 12-40 f2.8 is kind of that lens. It really can handle anything you throw at it. So who is the 12-40 f2.8 not for? Now this is a very small group of people because this lens really is made for everyone. But if you are looking to keep it as small as physically possible in your camera bag, this would not be the lens for you. The better option for you would be like the 12-45 f4 or a nicer set of primes at that point. All right, everyone, that's enough talking here in the office. Let's throw the 12-40 on my OM1 Mark II and let's go find somewhere to shoot. I don't know what we're gonna shoot today. Let's see where we end up. I'll see you guys there. All right, everyone, welcome to Quinnipiac River State Park here in North Haven, Connecticut. This is a really cool park. It's kind of obscure. I'm actually walking on a street right now. Back up here is the main town, but I want to give a quick history lesson while we walk and hike a little bit. This is actually the road. This was actually the main street for this community here in North Haven, and the river is actually right here. And something that happened is, unfortunately, they built too close to the river and this area flooded all the time. And it was unsustainable. So back in, I believe, the 50s, the town actually bought everyone out. So everyone who lived here got bought out. The houses were demolished because this is a flood zone. But it's pretty cool. Here's the Highway 15, or the Wilbur Cross Highway. And I'm actually walking on what used to be the main street in the town. And this is now a state park. You know, you can't build anything here. This is a flood zone. Luckily right now it's August, so not a lot of rain, not a lot of flooding. Water's pretty low, but we are technically walking down what used to be the main stretch of street for this part of North Haven. So So I've been hiking here along the Quinnipiac River, and I found this really cool spot. On both sides of me I have a really cool shot, and I'm excited to take both of them. Here we have this wall of trees with these beautiful vines and these beautiful leaves. We're definitely gonna get some photos of that. But what I really want to shoot is this tree here. I love this tree, how it like curves up, and we have these leaves going up along it. And I think the 12-40 is one of the best lenses for this, just because it's so versatile, you know? It covers such a great range. So let's get some photos of this tree and this tree and see how it looks. We're gonna get low to the ground and see if we can get some crazy angles here. This is just one of my favorite lenses to take on a hike. You know, you could take your camera, such as like an OM1 Mark II, an OM1, throw the 12-40 on it, and just come on here and have a great time with it. It's not heavy by any means. It takes 62mm filters, nice and convenient just for walking around. And it's just able to cover such a wide range. Found another really cool composition. We have all of this greenery here. We have these awesome trees kind of hanging down. Plus we have the trees back there covered in the vines. And it kind of feels like it feels very foresty, very jungly. You know, we're only like 5 minutes away from the town center. Such a cool area. But we're gonna try to get the shot here using the 12-40, kind of make it feel like a jungle, like we're in the middle of a jungle. So let's check it out. Places like these are so important to have a polarizer, because here's non-polarized and here's polarized, and you can see it just makes everything so much more luscious. I really like how these trees are like popping out from above the greenery here. This might even be too much green when I get back home on the computer, we'll see. I've been having so much fun out here in the forest. I'm only like 10 minutes from my car. You know, this kind of goes back to that thing I love to say about just embracing your local parks. I'm only 10 minutes from home, guys. You know, find somewhere near you and just make the best of it. Of course, there's no waterfalls here. There's no, you know, but I'm making the best of it. It's beautiful out here. I was just looking across the river here and I saw this tree that fell, and it's kind of made a perfect circle here. This reminds me of that bridge that people photograph in Germany. I don't know the name of it. I'll put it on the screen for you. But people go to this bridge in Germany because it's famous, because it's created the perfect arch over the water. And because the water is flowing so still, we have a perfect reflection. So once again, we're going to take the 12-40 and make the best of it. Let's try it. By the way, this whole time I've been shooting, I've been at 1/10 of a second. It's just kind of dark and gloomy out here today, but you know, we're using the OM1 Mark II, which has some of the best IBIS in the biz. So I'm not really worried about any motion blur in any of my photos. As I hike around Quinnipiac River State Park, it just makes me appreciate and realize that people used to live here along the banks of this river. And as I'm standing on the debris of I'm not too sure what I'm standing on here, maybe the foundation of a house, you know, it just makes me appreciate and realize that no matter what we think as humans, we will never be able to tame Mother Nature. Every time I hike through the woods, I like to appreciate that we are just observers at this point, and Mother Earth technically is in full control. All we can do is enjoy and think we have control of it, but technically it's in control. We're just here looking. So I always like to remind myself that when I'm out shooting, to really appreciate the bigger picture here and to observe, enjoy where you are, but don't control it. It's in control. I made the big mistake of forgetting to wear bug spray today while we are out hiking, well, in the woods. Whoops. Look at this trail. Not really much of a trail here, but oh well. Boy, tall grass everywhere. Tall grass everywhere. All right, it looks like a car has been through here, at least maybe in the past month or something. So we're just gonna walk through this. Oh, I see a road. I'm very curious what's down there, but we're gonna save that for another video. Today we're just gonna start walking back toward the car. Oh, by the way, my selfie stick is my tripod. All right, look, we're coming around the corner. You can see the Wilbur Cross Highway up there. So that means we just got one super long stretch until we're back to the car. Luckily, this is all flat. Can't wait to get the trees along the water as they change. Winter's gonna be amazing. The minimalism I'm gonna be able to do here. So excited for that. Sorry if it just got super loud. I am now only hundreds of feet away from the highway. Hey, look at this long stretch. All the way down there is where I parked my car. But look at this shot. We're gonna take a shot of this real quick. You know, it'd be perfect if like a deer walked in front of me or something. So check this spot out. We have this long walk. Let's turn off handheld high-res mode for a second. We have this long walk all the way, but there's a bench perfectly right there. Awesome spot. Cannot wait to get this in autumn in a few weeks with all of this being autumn colors. Yeah, that's the shot right there. So this is what I'm thinking right here. Let's focus on this bench. And it's just started raining, so it's very dramatic out here. Actually, let's pull back a little bit. Who doesn't love a good tree tunnel, right? we are getting rained on, but good news is we use OM system equipment, and we therefore do not care about getting rained on because this is fully weather sealed. I am not concerned at all. What a cool location, guys. If you're in Connecticut, come to Quinnipiac River State Park. This place is amazing. In terms of my final thoughts on the lens, it's starting to come down, so I'm gonna wrap up today's video. It's probably long enough already. Do I recommend you get a 12-40 f2.8 Pro? The answer is absolutely hell yes, if you're looking for an incredible travel lens that will deliver a punch no matter the circumstances. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This is Waterfall Joe. Let me know what you thought down below. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. You're gonna be seeing a lot more videos from Quinnipiac River State Park. This place is insane. So once again, if you're in Connecticut or New England, come to Quinnipiac River State Park here in Connecticut. Once again, respect the place. People used to live here. Enjoy it, but don't destroy it. And overall, just come and enjoy the state parks. This is Waterfall Joe. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Stay dry. Go shoot some waterfalls. And have a great, awesome time. Talk to you next time.